Hi, this video is for the Refuah Shlema of Yehuda Meir ben Yakira. He should have a complete recovery quickly. So Hanukkah's coming, right? So I hope you're getting ready to make cookies and latkes and, sufganiyot, those jelly donut things. But I want to talk about history for a second and how cool it really is. But what's really the thing that we have to do is make history real to ourselves. I'll tell you a couple stories. First is I was a history major for my bachelor's degree. And one day I was learning in my classroom at the university about the Persian Empire and those guys. And it happened to be around Purim time. And I was reading, stuff at home about Purim, and it mentioned actually the name of the Persian emperor. And all of a sudden it clicked. And I looked at that name. I think it was Artaxerxes or Xerxes, one of those. And then I went and looked at my university notes, and it was the same. And I remember, oh my gosh, this huge, I think I started dancing around the house, that Purim actually happened. It actually happened. And for some reason, that was a huge deal to me. All of a sudden, I needed a secular source to tell me that my Jewish history was actually real. Okay, that's a whole discussion in itself. But all of a sudden, I realized it was real. Purim was real. And then a few years later, I realized I was told by some Persian Jews that there's actually a tomb of Mordechai and Esther in Iran that people who live there go visit. And I was thinking, wow, that is so cool. But it makes history real. We have to make history real. And the other story I wanted to tell you was I was visiting, I used to go to England in my spare time. And London has a fantastic museum, one of my favorites, called the British Museum. Across from the British Museum, I found a coin shop. And I was on my way to the museum, and I stopped by this coin shop. And I looked in the window, because they put all the coins out and, trying to get you to come in. And I saw a coin there, and I thought, no way. And I looked at it, and it said Vespasian on there. And I was like, ooh. So I came in, who's Vespasian? So I go in, and Vespasian's the guy who destroyed the temple, the second temple. And I thought, ooh, I have to look at this coin. Even if I don't buy it, I gotta see this coin. I go in, I look at the coin, I ask how much it is. And I thought, okay, no, I can't do this. And I was about to leave, and I thought, oh heck, I've spent more money on things that are more useless than this. So I bought it, of course, and I walked across the street to the British Museum, and all of a sudden I just got really overwhelmed by history, believe it or not. And I realized that I was holding, I don't know if you can see it, I was holding a piece of history. I was holding a coin minted by the guy who destroyed my temple. Him commemorating our destruction, the Jewish people's destruction. And on the back, it's not a great copy, but, I had to have it. And it was a commemoration of the destruction of my people. And I realized that I sat down, in front of the museum. I just couldn't handle it. And I realized the guy who minted this coin and all that he represented, the Roman Empire itself, no longer existed, but I did. Cool. It's cool stuff. So the more you make Jewish history real, however you have to do that, go to the museum. Go make it real. Because, what happens is these holidays go one into the other, and it boils down sometimes to, oh, they tried to kill us, God saved us, let's eat, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, except that it kind of takes away the depth of what it means. So please, think about interacting with history, interacting with Jewish history to make it real for yourself. You know, it means a whole lot more. When our history lasts for 3,000 years, yeah, you know, when I was in England, I was there a few times. I went to the University of Glasgow, and there's a gate there, and I can't remember. It had the gate, had the date of the university when it was established on the gate, and it was something in the thousands. And for me, coming from the States, you know, the United States, you know, the United States itself started in 1776. You know, colonization was before that. You know, obviously the Native Americans were before that. But my history starts in 1776 in some ways. So, you know, seeing the university saying 1,000 starts in the thousands, that was like a big deal to me, right? And then I realized, what the heck am I talking about? Jewish history goes way back before that. I mean, look at this. There's a cool little book, and it really is little. 1 minute history lesson, six millennia of great Jewish leaders. 6 millennia, 6,000, right? And I mean, it starts at the beginning of history in Adam and Eve. But, you know, think about this. We talk about, you know, we talk about these people all the time, you know, Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Hillel, you know, Rabbi Hillel says, you know, don't do unto others as you do unto others as you would want done for yourself. We think about these things all the time, right? But these are Jewish ideas that have lasted for thousands of years. We interact with these things all the time. I mean, how can we say, do we interact with Shakespeare all the time? He was fascinating, good writer, all that. But do we interact with him all the time? No, of course not. I mean, unless you're an English lit, but whatever. But all I'm trying to say here is try and make Jewish history real for yourself. Learn more about it. Try and connect with it. Otherwise, these holidays are great. They're great in many ways. And spiritually, they're a whole different thing, even if you don't understand it completely. Spiritually, the holidays are there to connect with in a different way. But I think that you get more out of what you're talking about if you know a little bit of history. So hopefully we'll talk more about that. And wishing everyone all the best out there. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.